Hi, this is Owen here. So I am the IELTS practice examiner. And today in this video, I'm just going to be talking about common mistakes that IELTS candidates make in the speaking test. All right, so most of you know how the speaking test is, the format of it. You're tested for 12 to 15 minutes. You're asked a range of questions and you're rated on 4 criteria, okay, which are fluency and coherence, vocabulary, grammatical range and accuracy, and pronunciation. Okay, so when I was the examiner, I saw time and time again several key mistakes which candidates made, which made them sort of not get a good grade. I'll just briefly go through those in this video. So the first one, the first category is fluency and coherence. So what does that mean, fluency? It means speaking in a natural manner that flows naturally, okay, without unnecessary pausing or repetition. Okay, so if somebody lacks fluency, they tend to repeat words and phrases that they've already said. And they will also, of course, pause between words to give them time to think about what they're going to say. So, for example, they might say, I plan to visit Spain next year, and I will go shopping in the arcade and swimming in the sea. Okay, so 3 times in that sentence a word or phrase was repeated unnecessarily. Okay, as well as that, okay, so unnatural pausing between words and phrases. What's an example of that? For example, I was listening to music that day and I planned to meet my friends later. I wanted to go shopping, but I didn't have any money, so I didn't go. Okay, so that sentence should be said in one go without pausing. Okay, what else happens in the speaking test where candidates go wrong? Another fundamental error, I would say, is not answering the question you've been asked. You have to sometimes think about what you're being asked and give a relevant answer. Okay, not so much in part 1 of the speaking test, but maybe in parts 2 and 3, when the questions can be a bit tricky. You have to kind of think, am I answering what I'm really being asked? So it could be something, you know, if you're asked about how has technology progressed in the last 10 years and you start talking about technology in general, you're not talking about how it's progressed in the last 10 years. Okay, as well, something similar, which I saw in China particularly a lot, is reciting memorized answers. Okay, so you might think it's a good idea to memorize answers and information for your IELTS exam, but it isn't a good idea because the examiner can tell when an answer is memorized, and you can tell when the candidate is speaking something from memory because it sounds very robotic and unnatural. And when you question the candidate about what they've just said, often they don't know because they've said it, but they haven't thought about what they were saying. So when it comes to expanding on what they said, they are lost. They don't know. So I would say don't memorize. Yeah, just obviously prepare for your IELTS exam by reading and studying, but don't memorize. And when you're in the IELTS speaking exam, just try and relax and have a natural conversation with the IELTS examiner. That's really what the examiner is looking for. Okay. Yeah, and finally, so another big mistake that you can make in the IELTS exam is simply having poor pronunciation. Okay, when you speak in any language, the fundamental thing is to be understood. What you say has to be easily understandable to the person listening. All right, so your pronunciation is very important. And yeah, so many candidates with poor pronunciation, it's just not clear what they are saying. The words and the sounds are poorly pronounced. Yeah, sometimes you have to really sort of concentrate on what they're actually saying to pick it out. Yeah, and of course, you're a non-native speaker, your English pronunciation won't be perfect, especially not when you're a relative beginner. The best way to improve really is just to practice listening and talking with native speakers. Yeah, so TV and films, and if you can have a native English speaker friend in person, listen to them and just practice the way they pronounce the words. Copy what they do, basically. Yeah, so that's it. Oh yeah, finally grammar as well, grammatical range and accuracy. So try and be correct with your grammar. Also, to get the higher marks, try and use higher level structures. So not just all present simple, but you can use present continuous, and then also maybe past continuous, present perfect, future with will, future with going to, maybe past continuous, or even past perfect continuous, for example, because then you're really going to impress the examiner with what you know. Okay, so that was it for the speaking test. I hope that was useful. Let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, have a good one.